Good morning, class. Hope you guys all had a good weekend. This week we are starting week 5 for the course. Sorry that I didn't have a chance to post a video announcement last week. I kept putting it off and then I just totally didn't get it done. So this week we are actually going to have an activity to do rather than a quiz, the assistive technology project. So you'll be learning a lot about assistive technology, which I think is a really, really important topic, especially in this day and age, but also because individuals with special needs, their disabilities can usually be supported, or the impact can be alleviated or reduced when we are really creative with our assistive technology. So there's 2 different pieces to this assignment. The first one is to do the IRIS module. You'll need to answer those questions in the assessment step from the IRIS module on a document and submit that. So that's the first piece, and that IRIS module should really give you a good background and insight into assistive technology. And then the second piece is actually creating a lesson plan and integrating assistive technology into each step of your lesson plan. And this can be a little bit confusing for people who aren't familiar with writing lesson plans. So don't worry too much about feeling uncomfortable about that assignment. I'm not looking for a lesson plan aligned with TEKS or anything like that. I gave you an example, and so on the chunk of lesson piece of your lesson plan, that is basically a lesson plan cycle. So you come in and you usually start with a hook or bell ringer. That's the introduction to the lesson to catch the student's attention. Then you introduce new content. Then the students usually have some sort of guided or independent activity. And then you usually end with some type of reflection or exit ticket activity. So that's the cycle of a lesson. Then in the next column, big ideas and goals, that's where I really want you to decide what it is that you want to accomplish in each piece of that lesson plan cycle. And then you're going to look at the technology that can support that goal. And then really in your strategy column is where I really want you to detail how you're going to integrate that assistive technology into that portion of the lesson. So really think through how you're using assistive technology and explain it to me. As I said before, in the instructions, I don't want you to copy my example. I don't want you to use the same technology that I used. But you can use the lesson plans that I provided and then just fill in the technology and strategy piece without having to come up with your own big ideas and goals if you want to. Now, if you want to come up with your own big ideas and goals, that's great too. It's totally up to you. I've tried to make it as accessible as possible for people who aren't as familiar with learning in a classroom or who aren't on track for the teacher education program. So if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me. That is it for this week's assignment. Let's see. Make sure that you are looking into what you're going to be doing for your service learning, and let me know if you need help with that. Make sure that you are working on your book for the book club. We have about 2 months to work on that, just looking ahead. But I think we're all set for this week, so if you have any questions or anything, just let me know.